العلي العظيم أما بعد أحييكم بتحية الإسلام السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you, Dato, for the introduction. Inshallah, we proceed with the third week for this the Islamic worldview. Let me share the slideshow. Okay. Okay, today we are going to cover some Western ideologies. You know, in order to know about Tawheed, the oneness of God, it is good that we know also about the opposite of Tawheed, which is Shirik. So then by knowing the Shirik, you may know deeper about what is Tawheed. In order to know about what white is, it is good to know what black is. So meaning that by knowing the opposite, it helps us to understand what we are studying. The same thing with this Islamic worldview. In order to understand what Islamic worldview, it is good to know what is somehow the opposite that's go against this idea. This what they call this Islamic worldview. Okay, so we are going to see some Western ideologies. Ideologies means from idea, meaning the creation of human mind. While Islamic worldview is mostly based on revelation, based on revelation on Al-Quran and Sunnah. This is not the product of Muhammad's mind. Sometimes they use the word Muhammadanism. So this is not correct. It is not the ideology of Muhammad. It is Islam is revealed. Wama yantiqu anil hawa in huwa illa wahyun yuha. It is not from his words, but actually it is inspired by wahyu. Okay, these are some Western ideologies that we need to cover. That is number one is secularism. Secularism. Number two, materialism, and number three is postmodernism. And normally this is the foundation for modern science. For modern science. Okay. Let's look at materialism. Materialism from the word matter, meaning that materialism is a theory that physical matter is the only or fundamental reality that all beings and processes and phenomena can be explained as manifestation or result of matter. So matter, you know, when we talk about matter, it can be what they call physical, it can be gas, it can be fluids. So this is just a matter of transforming what they call this, that matter. Okay, physical. That's why it is based on what comes, let's say, for example, scientific worldview also is based on materialism, something that can be observable and experimentable. So this is materialism. Materialism excludes the existence of entities that are radically different from or superior to the matter or our ordinary experience. Exclude means set aside, you know. Let's say, for example, when you want to talk about akhirah, sorry, this is not our business. When you talk about dreams, for example, sorry, this is not our business. It's not our business. Something must be observable and experimentable. Wahyu, sorry, this is not our business. What we want to bring to the lab and experiment. So exclude any existence of entities that are radically different from or superior to the matter of our ordinary experience. So akhirah, ma ba'dal maut, eschatologies, about ghaib, for example, this is not the field of materialism. Okay. Mostly religious matters are not in the kind of materialism. Okay, no money, no talk. This is materialism. No money, no talk. You know, sometimes when someone propose your daughter, then you check whether the person is rich or not. Why the Prophet say, Fasvar bizatid din, choose the one who is really religious. So religious is actually somehow not in line with materialism. Okay. In materialistic worldview, only matter matters. As I did tell you, and no money, no talk. Okay, no, there is no issues of sincerity. There is no issues of meaning that everything should be valued based on materials. Everything that is not physical and material is not accepted. So this is materialism. Okay. It rejects, therefore, the existence of God, because God is not observable. God is alive. Or gods, even gods also. Even gods, this dewa in bahasa, we call, so also rejected. On whom the universe would depend for. So meaning that it is not only against what they call this Islam, but against all religion. This materialism against all religions, because all religions have gods. On whom the universe would depend for its existence or mode of operation. It denies the existence of angels or spirit. It questioned the notion of a soul, if taken to be immaterial entity, separable in principle from the human body. This is the, if you want to study about psychology, especially psychology, psychology actually from what they call this two words, psyche. Psyche means ruh, logos means science. Psychology from two words, psyche, ruh, logos, science. So literal is science of the ruh, science of the soul. And because modern psychology, they want to be scientific, which is based on matter, so they have to set aside the spiritual aspect. That's why it is difficult now to find the literal definition of psychology. We can only find the technical definition of psychology, that is the science that study human behavior and mental processes. So meaning that this human behavior we can observe, we can experiment, and then cognitive aspect, the science that study human behavior and mental processes. So where is the ruh? That's not our business. Because what? Because psychology is supposed to study about man, and the ruh is the real entity. Haqiqatul insan is the ruh. The reality of man is the ruh. But because of this materialism, science sacrifice the very essence of man. Then what happened? Then men are being what they call to some extent downgraded into like animals. Animals, very easy to understand. Animal is stimulus response, SR principle. So human also somehow is like SR principle, stimulus response. If you make people angry, then people will get angry. The same, and then reward and punishment. If you want people to do something, continue doing something, reward. If you want to stop people doing something, punish. So this is just basically like what we do to any animals: stimulus, response, and reward, punishment. That's why, brothers and sisters, if you are angry, you come to me, I'm angry, Ustaz. So I said, why you are angry? Then you said, people make me angry So that's why I get angry. So I will say to you, this is the basic principle of animal. You are at the basic level of animals, because what? SR principle. But for us, it is not a stimulus response. We add one more, that is STR. STR, stimulus, thinking, and respond. Thinking and respond. So now we are different. We take into consideration about belief. We take into consideration about thought and so on. Okay. So, but this is not the field of what they call this materialism. Okay. Okay. Its two main men's target are therefore theism and dualistic view of human nature. Theism means theos. Theos means any ideology about God. This against materialism. And dualistic view of human nature means body and soul. Don't talk about body and soul. Look at human as a human. Don't separate, to say that this man has body and soul. That's against the what they call this materialism. Materialism. But for us, we are having two components, body and soul. We are first created as the ruh. Then, in order to live in this dunya, we need a body. Then Allah create a body into the womb of our mother, and then our ruh, that is ourselves, being breathed into the womb, and then we are born then we separated again, and when we die, we separated again from our body, and then later we are together again. So meaning that in the Quran mentioned, we have a 2-time death and 2-time alive. Because what? Because death is defined as the separation of body and soul. Meaning that when we are first created, we are only ruh. So that it is called death, because no body. So that's ruh only. Because I repeat, death is the separation of body and soul. So first, we are dead. Even though we are there, created by Allah, but it is, according to the definition, we are first time dead. And then alive, unite between body and soul. Then separate again, death again, then unite again, life again. So meaning that we experience 2 death and 2 life, as mentioned by the Quran. Okay. So they don't want to see this. They don't talk about this. We talk about man as a man. Don't divide man into body and soul. But while we must understand, our essence is the ruh. Our essence is the ruh. Body is just our vehicle. In paradise, we don't need this body. We are given a new body that is suitable for abadi, forever, for example, because this body subjects to decay. In paradise, it's not supposed to experience this. Uruban, Achroba, then Allah mold back our body. So the body is like, the size is the Prophet Adam, and the youth, the age is like the age of the Prophet Isa alayhi salam, and the handsome is like the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. But of course, this is not accepted by what I call this materialism. Okay. It negates the existence of all that doesn't fall within the framework of change. Meaning that matter subject to change. So anything that does not subject to change, and transformation, and is not perceivable by sense organ. Meaning that what can be perceived, whether by senses, naked sense, or what I call it by instruments, that's okay. Otherwise, we are very sorry. Okay. And all knowledge of the world and of society must be based on sense experience and ultimately on science. So this material realism is the foundation of modern science, modern science, pure science. Like positivism, materialism lays stress on science as the only legitimate source of knowledge about the causality of the world, cause and effect, cause and effect. So you know what caused tsunami? You know, meaning that a crack under the sea, a crack under the sea, according to the science. Don't say that this is the work of Allah, this is the work of God. No, that's not the business of materialism. Materialism only talk about what? About matter. About matter. Okay, so this is very somehow very dangerous. It limiting our horizons. Limiting our horizons. Before we go to the next what they call this postmodernism, you know, it is good to know the story of Al-Ghazali. You know, Imam Al-Ghazali rahimahullah, you know, he is good in knowledge, scientific knowledge and everything. During the golden age, Imam Ghazali hold the highest post in the academic. He is somehow like we call rector at the Nizamul University in Baghdad. Baghdad, we are the golden era at that time. Baghdad under the rule of Nizamul Mulk. Imam Ghazali hold the highest post in terms of academic. But you know, he feels something missing in himself, in his heart. So once he lay down, there are two things that quarreling in himself. And number one is you know, the conflict between the two, between senses and akal. Senses, you know, senses say this is the inner conflict. The inner conflict, the conflict in his heart, in his mind. So the senses say, you know, I'm the basic source of knowledge. Senses. Without me, no knowledge. You use me to see, you use me to hear, you use me to touch. Senses say I'm the basic source of knowledge. But then Akal say no. Although you are the basic, but we cannot trust you. We cannot completely trust you. So senses say, you know, prove it to me. You know, don't say, prove it to me that you cannot trust me. So then Akal said, look at the moon. Look at the moon. What is the size of the moon? According to the eyes, the size of the moon at like the size of 20 cents coin. You know, you put 20 cents coin, the moon disappeared. So Akal said to the senses, is that the size of the moon? So the eye said, no. So, you know, who told you? Akal said, who told you? And then silence, you know, it silenced the senses. You know, this is the limitation of senses. So Akal said, I told you that the size of the moon is not that size. Look at the, you know, you put the pen in the water, it bends. Does it bend? No, it doesn't bend. Who told you? You know, according to the senses, it bends. But Akal said, no, it does not bend. So I told you. Then, you know, you see the limitation of what they call this sense. Then Akal become arrogance. You see, I tell you what is right and what is wrong. Then comes the third voice. The third voice, you know, against this Akal. Don't be arrogant, Akal. Even though you downgrade the senses, you know, you belittle the senses to have limitation, but you also limited. Then Akal said, prove it to me. Prove it to me. Then the third voice said what? Okay, look at the dreams. You know, in dreams, Akal is very active. You know, those who study dream, for example, they put the cable here and there and connect to the computer. You know, it is very active. Akal is very active. You know, if we run, we get sweating. You know, the heartbeat will increase. It is like real. It is like real. You know. Now I have a dream. I have a dream. You know, in my dream, I found a treasure in the box, and I know I'm dreaming. You know, but I saw it, the treasure, real treasure. I said to myself, if I wake up later, this treasure will go away. So I should act fast to take part of the treasure. So what I'm doing, I take part of this treasure and put under my pillow, and then let the box go away when I wake. So then I wake up. So I know the box will went away, but I check under my pillow. It is gone also. It is gone also. So, meaning that akal is it thinks it is real, but actually it is not real. That's why be careful with the akal, the limitation of akal. And because of that, what happened to Al-Ghazali, he resigned from the post. He traveled and looked for the third voice until at the end he become a Sufi. A Sufi, those who clean their heart and they get direct knowledge, not only senses from senses, not only from akal, but also from direct from the owner of the what they call this knowledge, which is called ilmu laduni, direct from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, senses are important, akal are important, but we must put them at their proper place. Don't go beyond their place. Their place. Okay. So this is what they call this, the limitation of materialism, which is the foundation of what they call this science. Okay. Next is about postmodernism. Before we go to, it's okay, postmodernism, meaning that after what they call this dark age, then the West become modern, and the phase is after modernism. During the what they call this modern, what is important that contribute to the modernity is science also contribute, and also religion. So in postmodernism, so no, they reject even science, they reject even religion. So postmodernism is anti not only religion but also anti science, anti-science or truth. Okay, believe that individually are merely construct of social force, that there is no transcendent truth. There is no transcendent truth. What you see is what it is, that can be known. A rejection of any one worldview or explanation of reality, as well as a rejection of the reality of the objective truth. So meaning that, postmodernism, everything is about imagination. There is no objective truth. There is no objective truth, and it is subjective, and it is very relative. Truth is very relative. Okay, 7 principles and characteristics of postmodernism. In order to know more, you can read further. There are many writings on postmodernism, but these are the 7 characteristic principles of postmodernism. No absolute truth. No absolute truth. Nobody can say that I'm right. He will say, other people also will say they are right. There is no absolute truth. Truth is relative. Contingency is everything. The only absolute truth is that there are no absolute truth. That the only truth, that there is no absolute truth. I heard this Sakit Said Muhammad Naqib Al-Attas, he gave an analogy about this what they call this no truth. There are 2 people are quarreling. 2 people are quarreling about something moving in the bush. Bush. And then something moving, and then a person say that this might be buffaloes, cows and buffaloes, and another person say no, that's not cows and buffaloes. It's very the movement is not very strong. That might be a group of flamingos, birds. And then one take the stone and throw into the bush, and then the birds fly, flamingo. So the bee said, you see, I did tell you, it is flamingos. It is they are flamingos. And then the person who said the cows and buffalo, he said what? Even if they fly, for me, they are cows and buffaloes. So meaning that, this is very as what they call it, relatives. That's why today we have this type of people. You know, when we tell them the truth, they say no, that's for you. For me, I'm different. I understand differently. So this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. Sometimes you don't respect the authority. There are some people that we can have differences, but some people they are absolute truth, especially about religion. The foundation of religion, usul, normally it is an absolute truth. You cannot say that this from my mind. It is different. Okay. No reality. There is no ultimate reality behind things. We see largely what we want to see and what our position in time and place allow us to see. You know, if you go to the higher building, let's say 5th floor, then people say, wow, it is very, very high. So this postmodernists say, that's your imagination only. For me, it is not high. And how to prove that it is high? Push him. And then he know that it is really, really high. You know, these people, they just simply, and everything is imagined. No reality. And only simulacrum, that is imagination and speculation. This is the foundation. Imagination and speculation. And meaningless and value. No meaning, no meaning. Life is happy, go lucky. So no value, don't put any value. Don't put any value. You know, let's say for example, if let's say for example, if homosex for example comes to see you, you are a therapist for example, then if a homosexuals come to see you, don't put any value. You know, you have to help him to actualize himself to be what he want to be. So don't put any value. So this is what they call this somehow like the value of modernism, meaningless and valueless. Just life is just like like any animals, no meanings, and you grow young, adults died, and then continue new generation, young, grown up, become adults and died. And while in Islam, this really against Islam. Okay, and then total doubt. Doubt is not only yes, we also doubt something, but this postmodern, they doubt everything. They doubt everything. Yeah. I think this Descartes. I think, therefore I am. So if I don't think, then I am not. So they even doubt about their existence. Right. Okay. And multiplicities of truth, ethnicities, and culture. Truth is multiple. Truth is multiple. No, don't say that you are only the one is right. Others also right. For example, cultures also. Let's say sexual orientation. You have what they call this homosex. You have, let's say for example, this time we have a new term they call asexual. Asexual means those who those who run away from having sex, for example. They don't have what they call bisexual or homosexual, but they are asexual. Asexual means they are proud to continue to be virgin, continue to be virgin. So this so multiple in terms of truth and ethnicity and cultures. And 7, equal representation of class, gender, sexual orientation. Don't say that this is bad. Well, this is not accepted. No, everything should have equal rights. Everything should have equal rights. Okay, that is what they call this characteristic of postmodernism. Postmodernism. Okay, and the last one. Of course, if you want to analyze this, what they call this postmodernism, we can see, it is totally against Islam. Against Islam. For example, total doubt. Of course we can doubt, but there are things that we cannot doubt. Alif Lam Mim. Zalikal kitabu la raiba fi. You can doubt, but this kitab, no doubt about it. For example, equal representation. No, you know, in this life, everything is not equal. Everything is not equal between the student and the teachers, between the what they call fathers and the sons, and don't consider that everything is equal. So there are things that are right, there are things that are wrong, for example. So if you reject realities, you know, realities from the word, you know, al-haqqu. Al-haq, you know, means the truth. If you reject the truth, you reject al-haqqu, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Realities, hakikah. From the word haq come the word hakikah. Realities. Yeah, realities, for example. Meaning that if you reject what they call this truth, if you reject realities, you are going to reject also Allah. Realities, it doesn't mean that what you can see only, but sometimes even what you cannot see also, as long as it is real, then it is hakikah. These days, you know, you can see, let's say, for example, you know, this is the difference between fact and reality. What you see not necessarily reality, but sometimes what you see is facts. But behind the facts, normally there is reality. For example, when you see someone crying, so what is their reality behind crying? No, it is not necessarily sadness. Ustad, sadness is the reality behind crying. No, some people, they cry because of overexcited, what they call this, extremely happy. So when you see the smoke, for example, what is the reality behind smoke? What is the reality behind smoke? You know, fire, not necessarily. Today we have smoke which is not from fire. During the concert, we have smoke, you know, created by ice, for example. So meaning that facts does not really represent reality. Okay, then we go to the last, which is secularism. Secularism. The English words for secular derive from the Latin word seculum, meaning this present age, this world of change as opposed to the eternal religious world, seculum. So this present age, meaning that what is important is now, and this time, now, this time, and here and now. So this seculum has two connotation: here in this world and now at this time. So don't talk about afterlife, don't talk about akhirah. What is important is now and here. Now and here. It is defined as the liberation of man from religious and metaphysical tutelage, the turning of his attention away from other worlds and toward this world. So it focuses only on this world, this time. So don't relate with religion, because normally religion talk about something after, for example, akhirah, what is you know, after death, for example, about hell, about paradise. Don't talk about this. And to some extent, secular is you know, not only anti Islam, but actually secularism anti all religion. There shouldn't be any religious symbol. You know, some countries, you know, they don't allow even any religious symbols, not only Islamic symbols, but also any other religious symbols. So this is secular. Yeah, secular. Component of secularism, there are three components. And number one is disenchantment of nature. You know, enchantment means praising nature. When you put this, it becomes negative, meaning that no respects to the nature, no respects to the nature. You have to free the nature from religious overtones. Nature is not a divine entity. Nature is not a divine entity. Okay, yeah. This provides an absolute condition for the development of natural science. However, highly developed culture's powers of observation, however refined its equipment for measuring, no real scientific breakthrough is possible until man can face the natural world unafraid. Meaning that this nature, this world is for you. Use it for your own interest. You can use for your own interest. Okay. This is, in Islam. How about in Islam? In Islam, no. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard, in the creation of the heaven and the earth. Waqtilafil layli wan nahar, the changes of nights and days. La ayatin li ulil albab. Ayat means signs. The signs for those who are thinking. Meaning that this alam, actually this alam is an alamat, a signs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alamat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But no, don't talk about it. In secular, don't relate with God, don't relate with religion. Don't relate with religion. In Islam, no. It is ayat. It is a science. When you look at the nature, you will see what they call this, Allah behind it. Recently we are shocked by the killings in New Zealand, the shooting in the masjid. This is a very calm countries and very beautiful among the beautiful countries where these movies, Lord of the Ring. I come to know that it is being filmed in that country because the country is so beautiful. People, before the shooting, people appreciate the beauty of these what they call countries. But after shooting, the hikmah, many become Muslim. Many want to know about Islam, and then they start knowing the beauty of the one behind the beauty of this world. Meaning that some people they see dunya as it is, mashallah, beautiful, but they don't see the Zat, the creator behind this beauty. Because what? Because it requires thinking. La'allakum ta'qilun, la'allakum tatafakkarun. If you see it, you cannot see unless you think, unless you think. Because this alam is an alamat that brings you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever you see, you can see God behind it, Allah behind it. Okay, so that's this enchantment of nature. And another one is desecularization of politics. From the word sacred means holy. Politics should be clean. Politics should be holy. But secular make politics dirty. So meaning that if you want to be politic, you must know. For example, when people say politics is dirty, but actually the best politician is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, mashallah, his politics is wonderful. For example. But secular, no, don't relate with religion. No one rules by divine right. For example. Significant political and social change is almost impossible in societies in which the ruling regime is directly legitimated by religious symbol. If you want to have a good politics, don't relate with religion. That's why religion is part, politics is part. For example, so this is dualism, secularism. Okay, and the third one characteristic of secularism is deconsecration of values. Deconsect means what they call this open, and deconsect means you make it closed. Deconsect, you make it open. You make it open. Related. In another word, they call relativization of value. Relative value become relative. Like postmodernism also. Like postmodernism, meaning that is subject to individual. For you, it is right. For me, mine also right. You are also right. For example, there is no absolute truth. The disappearance of securely grounded value. Normally, the value, the grounded one, the stable one, normally given by religion. What is good in religion? Normally, it is very stable, but from human mind, is subject to change. Is subject to change. Previously, homosexuality is very bad, immoral, but now it is being practiced. It is already gradually accepted. So it's subject to change. So this the consecration of values, disappearance of securely grounded values, they have ceased to be values and have become valuation. Good, good is supposed to be value. Good is supposed to be value, but good is it's not necessarily good unless we say it is good. But if we value something which is good before, and now for us it might be negative, bad, but then that thing become bad. Meaning that this is humanism, meaning that it's subject to human mind. Mind become the measure of everything. If it is good for man, then it is good. If it is bad for man, and then it is bad. So it's subject to human mind, and human mind is subject to what I call this, to error. Okay, I think time is, alhamdulillah, time is good. This is so this is the slide until here. Actually, the one that I gave it to you. I hope everybody got the slide. So the slide until here about different type of ideologies. So by understanding this, these are all by principle is against the Islamic worldview. So by understanding this, then I hope that the topic that we are discussing about the Islamic worldview, it should be clearer, and we should understand it deeper. This understanding is the rizki from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people, they listen to me, and Allah give them a great understanding even beyond my lecture. Some people they got accordingly, and some people they got very less. It depends on our our commitment, and Allah see our commitment. It is rizki. It depends on the rizki from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless us. May Allah make us understand, and hopefully these values that we are studied, for example Islamic values, for example, become our compass, become our guidance. And with that, I pass the baton.